Hey guys, how's it going? So in this video, I'm going to be talking about High Tide and why I really like this company and I plan to hold it long term. Yeah, I am up a lot. I'm up like 300%. But I don't care because I think the stock price is going higher and higher and higher. I honestly think that I will see this stock with a market cap of over $1 billion sometime in the near future. But that is my opinion, not financial advice. And in this video, I'm going to share my thoughts on why I think that it's a possibility. Just a possibility. Please don't take this as financial advice. I'm holding this long term and I'm going to give you my reasons why. Let's look at a company called MyMed, right? They make zero revenue. Zero profit, zero revenue. And they got pumped from 45 cents all the way up to $4.39. And they are valued at $1.4 billion. That's a lot of money. Why? Because a lot of rich people think that this company is going to be a winner in the magic mushroom area, and Kevin O'Leary is invested in this company, and Bruce Linton is invested in this company, and big money saw that and they're pumping the stock. And the fact that MyMed could be listing on the NASDAQ, that's the reason why the stock has so much hype around it and it's getting pumped to the moon up to $1.4 billion, while High Tide is only $350 million market cap at the moment. And I think that it's going to go higher. I'm going to hold this long term. And, again, I will explain why. So, this is the biggest reason right here. High Tide will operate this news of them acquiring Smoke Cartel is not a huge deal. But what I have highlighted here is a really big deal. High Tide will operate the largest and second largest e-commerce platform for consumer accessories in the world, and believe it will be well positioned to begin online MJ sales should the United States move forward towards federal legalization. So if the United States become federally legal and High Tide is allowed to sell MJ online, and the fact that they are the biggest e-commerce platform in the United States, they are going to generate a lot of money because they are this one-stop shop for everything. You want to go, they're the one-stop shop for your accessories and your MJ. So a lot of people are going to, and everyone knows that e-commerce is the future. Period, right? Like, brick and mortar is great for short term, but the future is online sales. So High Tide has a really bright future when it comes to online sales because they are already well established as an online e-commerce player in the United States and around the world. And if this is only an if they are allowed to sell MJ online, this would be a game changer for this company, and the stock would skyrocket. And people who are buying in the penny ranges are going to be filthy rich, especially if you hold this long term. At least my opinion, anyways. Not financial advice. So, another thing why the stock is popping too is not because of me, it's because of YouTube and social media. This guy named Moneymine, he made a video about High Tide and says that it's a 5 to 10 bagger, and he talked positively about it and compared it to Planet 13. And then this guy right here, Money Moon Market, 78k views. Let's just say, let's just take half of that as actual viewers, that's like 35,000 people watching this video. If 35,000 people bought like, I don't know, 5,000 shares average, that's a lot of shares. Let's just pull a calculator. 35,000 times, 5,000 shares. That is 175 million shares if only 35,000 people bought 5,000 shares. I personally have way more than 5,000 shares. I know people who have way more than 5,000 shares. So I think the average could be way higher than 5,000 shares. I think the float on this is extremely tight because there's a lot of retail investors that are buying up this stock. And this is the reason why the stock is popping. Because a lot of people are buying this penny stock. So, I first thought it was just big money, but I think it's a mixture of big money and retail investors is the reason why this stock is popping hard, in my opinion. So, yeah, and then let's listen to what High Tide CEO has to say about his business, and I'll talk more about it. So let's begin.
Maybe I can pick your brain. What would you say is High Tide's competitive advantage or competitive advantages?
So look, we believe High Tide has a unique competitive advantage when compared with other North American cannabis companies. As we're not just another bricks and mortar cannabis retailer, but instead a well-diversified international cannabis company. Our differentiated retail experience focuses on an unmatched selection of consumption accessories and cannabis expertise, making us nation's favorite one-stop shop for cannabis. And then, our grasscity.com e-commerce platform is visited by over 20 million consumers a year, which is the highest traffic and most visible brand in the industry. And these are all US customers as well. So these retail channels, because we've got the bricks and mortar, we've got the e-commerce, these retail channels provide us with insights that are then leveraged by the full ecosystem, including our wholesale and manufacturing divisions dedicated to producing and distributing the most in-demand consumption accessories. And then through partnerships with celebrity and entertainment brands like Snoop Dogg, Trailer Park Boys, Paramount Pictures, Guns N' Roses, and many more, Famous Brands is really setting new standards in the branding for branding in the cannabis industry. And then, I also want to talk about Valiant. Valiant manufactures about 75% of its catalog in-house and distributes it to not only all of High Tide's retail channels, but also its own network of international retail and distribution partners, giving High Tide a real big competitive advantage. So to sum it all up, our competitive advantage is that High Tide is a major player in the bricks and mortar cannabis business, which is also supported by ancillary divisions, which continue to grow and contributing to additional revenue and enhanced margins.
Okay, great. You mentioned.
I don't know if you guys heard it, but he was talking about 20 million people visiting the Glass City platform. That's a lot of people. 20 million. Well, if they were able to sell MJ to 20 million people and accessories, High Tide could be generating a lot of revenue in the billions of dollars of revenue in a quarter, maybe $1 billion in a year of revenue. High possibility. Undervalue? Maybe a little bit, but I am biased because I'm a shareholder. Just remember that. But I am going to hold this long term, and any bit, I'm hoping that this dips on Monday. I probably won't, but if it did, I'd buy more. That's my plan. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I only got to last another 20 seconds for 10-minute video. But if we look at the conversation on the chat board, it's it's up there. I mean, there's people paying attention. 25 likes here, 28 likes here, 16 likes here, 13 likes here. So yeah, almost 1,000 members. HighTideReddit.com, High Tide Incorporation. Somebody made a High Tide Reddit page. That's interesting. Yep. I hope this thing goes to 1 million. Imagine 1 million High Tide Reddit page. Woo! Yeah! You know, 1 million people buying just 1,000 shares of High Tide. How many shares would that be? 1 billion? Maybe? Maybe? I don't know. 1,000 shares times 1 million? That's 1 billion shares. 1 billion shares. That's a lot of shares. That's more than the float that is currently available right now. I think the stock's getting pushed higher. It's just my opinion. We'll see what happens. Anyways, thanks for watching. Subscribe for future updates. And have a great day. Bye.